Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 15th official episode of the Pidgecast. I'm your host, as always, CJ Pidjanowski, and today we will be talking about how COVID affected the NBA, where the NBA is right now, College March Madness 2020, high school, what happened to high school with COVID, and just how COVID affected sports as a whole in the sports world. As you know, I'm a very big sports fan, so it's kind of going to be an episode with, I would say, a lot of my opinion, but with a lot of facts too, because I'm trying to become less biased. I've noticed that in my episodes that I'm kind of biased depending on what I'm talking about. So, how did COVID affect the NBA, and what is the timeline? Well, the timeline was March 11th is when it started. March 11th was when COVID shut down the NBA due to Rudy Gobert spreading COVID to a good part of the NBA. They were in the Thunder's arena. The Thunder were playing the Jazz in Oklahoma. And just before they got to tip-off, the game was canceled and the season was postponed due to COVID. Now, there's a lot of things that went into that, but where is the NBA right now? Now, if you haven't been keeping up with my episodes and you're a first-time viewer, the NBA currently just got done with its bubble season, and they transformed one of ESPN's arenas or ESPN's reporting center into a arena for players to practice and then play. The finals was held there, and it was the NBA's quote-unquote testing ground. This would bring a lot to the table for the NBA. It did end up working out. They did end up losing viewership, though it was, I feel like, a good risk. Good risk, good reward. Because they tried, it's something called the play-in bracket. It's where the 9th seed plays the 8th seed, and if the 9th seed wins 2 games, they advance to become the 8th seed. If the 8th seed wins once, they're still in the playoffs. Now, that was, in my opinion, the best idea for the NBA to experiment during the bubble. That or having one game in the first round, 2 games in the second, 3 in the third, and 4th in the finals. That would have been the second one. That would have been good. But that's where the NBA is right now. There's been a lot of trades, such as the Chris Paul trade, the Dennis Schroeder trade, the Drew Holiday trade, and so on and so forth. Those are the big trades up to date, and that's basically what happened to the NBA in COVID. Now, it pushed them in a good direction. Now, they were more focused on money. Now they're more focused on player safety. Sure, they may be losing revenue, but their player morale, however you say it, is way more happy than it used to be. Now, College March Madness went through 3 stages. One where it's still going on, but limited stands, people in the stands. Stage 2 was nobody's in the stands, and stage 3 was it's just canceled. It started off in stage 1 for a good part of February. Late February, it changed to stage 2, and right as the day that I think March Madness was supposed to start, it got canceled. I feel like this was good also because they are taking big steps in the sports world to becoming better at treating their players right. Now, what happened to them? The March Madness, I feel like college players are doing way better now. The NBA draft is actually tonight as we're speaking. I will do episode 17 as a draft recap. It's pushing them in the right direction. Now, NBA is actually thinking about holding the draft because they know that they're not going to have COVID because the NCAA is taking care of their players finally, as there has been a lot of scandals about them not taking care of their players. That was a big scandal, but who knows? High school sports. High school had a battle of going remote, going hybrid, and playing sports. As you saw in the first round with Florence. Florence was a little rusty in the first half because they went remote for 2 weeks. This would be something big, and that could affect the entirety of the playoffs. Going remote, that can cancel games, that can push them back, that can eliminate them from the playoffs automatically due to someone getting COVID. This is how serious that the high school programs took COVID. Now, where are they now? Still sort of the same. It is the final round in the Class B playoffs. It is the Manhattan Tigers facing, I believe, the Glasgow, because they beat Florence. Or no, it's them facing someone else who beat Florence. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, how remote learning will face. Because Florence, if you haven't known, just went into remote learning, so it would have been a good time for Florence to lose anyways, or else they would have had to forfeit the championship. I would assume. The middle school recap. Middle school is basically the same as high school. Our season, along with high school for basketball and winter sports, got pushed back from around now to later in January. Mid-January is going to be the first actual games and contact for winter sports. That, I feel like, was a good move by their part to let people who play football recover. But also, I can see how it's been taken as a bad move by it also, because you could also just push it through and then you have winter sports go through the way that it was and quarantine, because it worked for basketball. The people who got COVID ended up just quarantining and they weren't allowed to leave campus, though they could do that with something else like college, because I don't think high school would have a good, nice campus like college does. The Player of November is going to be a new section. It is the senior in Manhattan quarterback, Caden Holgate. He is probably the most clutch player in the Class B school. I don't see how Manhattan is a Class B. I consider it a Class A. The Tigers are 4-0 in the season, and their quarterback senior, Caden Holgate, is leading the Tigers on offense. He is great. He comes in clutch, and he's led them to the finals, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win. He deserves to have his name up there, and one of the, I don't know, it should be on the plaque on the wall. He's a great player, and when Manhattan ends up losing him, that's going to be a tough lose for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays D1 or D1 football for his local college. It would be great for him. He's a stud. Anyways, thank you guys for watching so much. If you have enjoyed, make sure to like. This same episode is coming out on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. I already said that. And I have my schedule laid out. Today, I am going to do episode 15. Tomorrow's going to be episode 2 of the news. Friday is going to be episode 2 of the Render Distance, a YouTube special series. So go check out my YouTube. The Pidgecast is what it's called. Saturday, episode 16 for the Pidgecast. And on Sunday, it's going to be 3 in 1. I'm going to have episode 17, 3, and 3. All in one. I can't wait till that happens. It's going to be a lot of work for me, but it's going to be worth it. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, stay safe. Stay out of trouble. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.